morning, good morning. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Hello. Good morning. Yes, it's happening. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's happening. Let's see if we can turn this music down a little bit. Yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here's the title screen. Like, what is that monstrosity there? What the heck? What? What happened? And I'm telling you what happened is I built an automatic crop farm because I was tired of getting crops. That's what I did. And in doing so, I accidentally built this huge tower that we're in the middle of right now. So here's the overview. So behind us is the iron farm and my old starting building. It's still kind of there. And then but now we have the addition of this thing, which is the crop farm. So how this works is that there's a guy in there in the bottom one, in the very, very middle. There's that guy in the middle. And he is the only guy connected to all four of these chambers. Every other chamber is sealed off from each other. So there's only one guy here who can talk to all these three guys. So these guys all have to talk to them if they want to talk to anybody else. He's the dude. He's the guy. So because they're farmers, that's the only job out here. They're doing farming. And they bring their crops over to our guy in the center. And they say, hey, guy in the center, you look like you don't have any crops. You have no food. You have nothing. Let us, the farmers, help you out. We will give you crops. Because, they have no one else to trade with. They're walking around, they're looking, but there's no one else to trade with. So they're all, hey, guy in the middle, I will trade with you. And then they toss them. They toss all of their crops over to the guy in the middle. However, the guy in the middle is surrounded by hopper minecarts. These hopper minecarts stop the thrown vegetables from reaching the guy in the middle. Instead, these vegetables are harvested and put into a box where I can use them for later. Beetroot, carrots, and potato. And it's pretty good. Does what it's supposed to do. It catches the veggies grown by the farmers so that I could sell it back to them. I moved the sheep to a little pen and I will await their next move. They're gonna have their own farm. They're a wool farm, so that's gonna be nice. The cows are gonna be unnecessary real soon, so we may have to get rid of the cow crusher. I got a new guy here. I got a priest. Can't see him, he's asleep now, but there's a priest in there. We have another zombie, Eddie, who's ready to be cured. I'm not sure what his job is going to be, but we're ready to cure Eddie. Because of the creepers blowing up, I replaced everything with cobblestone, because cobblestone is the most blast resistant material. So if a creeper decides to blow up in here again, I got him covered, surrounded. I mean, it'll blow out the glass, but we're down to 2 villagers in the chamber. Yeah. And that's great. That works fine. So what else have I built? Okay, I did some exploring. Oh wait, there's some bats. Let me go sleep first. Oh yes, oh yes. Coffee. Okay. So let's go check out the Nether, right? The Nether. That's where I did some building. Punk. So yeah, what I did here is not so much building, is exploring. So I went down, down, down. I went down, 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 down to the depths. To the depths. And because of the biome I'm in the Nether, the depths are all lava. So it's real hard to get solid ground to go digging in. You see what I mean? It's a little absurd. But then I blasted out this huge chamber looking for magma blocks. And I found no magma blocks. So I'm thinking what I need to do is get out of this horrible area because it's all basalt. It's all this yeah, it's all this stuff. This gray stuff, and it's no good for anything except for building. You can't make anything out of it. It's only good for building. So yeah, that's what this whole place is. Until I got to the very, very end. And then it became nether wastes, I guess. Is this the nether waste biome? Let me see. What does it tell me? Tell me, where am I? Minecraft, base stone nether. Where are we? Alright, it looks like we're still in the because of the ash. But yeah, I tried blasting this place out looking for magma cubes. Did not find any magma cubes. So what I'm thinking is I need to go at a different level. Instead of Y level 14, that's good for ancient debris, but it's no good for magma cubes. And this gold farm is turning out to be really difficult. Like oh yeah, dude, just getting the materials is crazy. Yeah, this blackstone is great stuff. Can't get it anywhere else but the Nether. So you can't see anything, right? Because it's like dark, dark, dark. Let me get out of here. I can go mine for blackstone later. Just the absurdity of this place. So yeah, I don't want to be here, but I have to be here in order to get magma cubes. And I need so many magma cubes that it's not worth it to go kill individual magma slimes for their slimes to make my own cubes. I need to mine them. And it's gonna take forever. Okay. Sorry, yeah. This place, let me tell you. I need to find a new biome. This is like the worst one to have a nether hub in. Okay. Bring it. Bring it. Okay. Okay. Huh. So I've done that. What do I need to do? Nothing. I just need to hang out. I mean, yeah. Check out this awesome thing I made. Okay, what do I got to show you? What I got to get to... Okay, let's see. Some basic stuff. We know... So recently, Donald Trump said that he's not going to abide by the Constitution, and he's going to contest the election if he loses. He said that way ahead of time. Way early. There's no evidence of any wrongdoing up from well, okay, that's not true. There is evidence of wrongdoing from the Republican side. You can see that the Republicans are trying to to mess up the election by telling their people to vote by mail, but telling other Democrats, "Oh, don't vote by mail. Don't vote by mail. It's not legitimate." Like, this came up out of nowhere, only because Donald Trump was going to lose the election. That's why. So what they're doing is they're making excuses ahead of time. How do I know this? Because Donald has never been above 50%, ever. When you look back at other presidents going into their re-election campaign, Donald Trump looks closest to H.W. Bush. H.W. Bush, which was the president after Reagan, when he went into his campaign for re-election, his approval rating was 38%. At 38%. And he lost the election to Bill Clinton. Donald Trump's approval rating is 40%. His average approval rating is 40%. So he too is not looking all that great. Like, he's never been above 50%. I'm gonna close this Discord. Okay. To save the bandwidth. So, if Donald Trump has never been above 50%, he looks a lot like George H.W. Bush. Chances are he's going to lose. He's losing all the battleground states. He's about to lose Texas. Donald Trump is going to lose. I mean, don't get complacent. Go vote and do all that other great stuff. But the way it's looking is Donald Trump is going to lose. So Donald Trump, in anticipation of the fact that he's going to lose, is poisoning the well. He's poisoning the well. He's putting poison in the well by saying, oh yeah, it's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. They cheated. He's saying ahead of time that they cheated. Only if he loses, though, which he knows he's going to lose. So we know he's going to do this. Here, listen to him. Don't listen to me. Listen to him.
We want to make sure the election is honest, and I'm not sure that it can be. I don't know that it can be with this whole situation. Unsolicited ballots. They're unsolicited, millions being sent to everybody, and we'll see.
What? Like, that's not true. That is not true. He's trying to sow doubt in our election because he knows he's going to lose. So if he can't win, he's going to cheat. And he's going to cheat by casting doubt on everything. I can't believe I didn't get that one clip of him. Oh yeah, there he goes. Watch. Now listen, this is Donald Trump telling us what he's going to do.
Win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? There has been rioting in Louisville. There's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots. And
we're going to have to see what happens? What does that mean? That means, well, if I win, it'll be okay. There will be no transfer. If I lose, no, I'm going to make a problem. That's what he just said. So the reporter asked him, will you ensure a peaceful transition? And Donald Trump said no.
the ballots are a disaster.
The ballots are a disaster, but only in the states that he doesn't like. Donald Trump votes by mail in Florida. All his cabinet votes by mail in their places. They all vote by mail. Oh, but for you to vote by mail. Oh no, that's bad. Do you see what it is? He's an elite. His people are elite. They're allowed to vote by mail. They can break the rules, the rules. But you are a plebeian. You are a nothing. You are nothing. So you can't vote by mail. That's only allowed for the elites. That's what Donald Trump is saying.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transfer of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation.
What? What? I wrote that down, but I don't have it here. I wrote down what he said. If you get rid of the ballots, there won't be a it will be very peaceful because there won't be one, because it'll be a continuation. So he's saying, let's just get rid of the ballots. Let's just get rid of voting. That's what he's saying. Let's get rid of voting and make me dictator. That's what he just said. He just said that. Let's get rid of ballots and make me dictator. Here, listen here.
The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else.
What do you think? What is he talking about? The Democrats know better than everybody knows the ballots are fine. The F you talking about? What are you talking about? Don't point to us. What are you talking about, dude? Oh, you don't have anything. You got nothing because you're full of crap. You're full of crap, Donald. You're full of crap.
The second question is, will you...
Here, let's listen to that again, all right? So, Donald Trump wants to be dictator. He breaks the law all the time. He's always hiding. The Republicans said, yep, he is breaking the law during the impeachment, but we don't think he broke the law bad enough to remove him as president. That's what the Republicans said. So, he's going to be indicted the moment he's not in office. He's a criminal. He is a criminal and a traitor. And he's moving to try to become dictator. Now, there's a bunch of yahoos who carry guns and want to help him do that. And that's the people he's talking to when he says he's not committing to a peaceful transfer of power. He's talking to his Ku Klux Klan people, his white terrorist people, his terrorist groups. He's talking to his terrorist groups when he says, I'm not sure if there's going to be a peaceful transfer of power.
Win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? There has been rioting in Louisville. There's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else. Go ahead.
Mr. President, the second question is,
The fuck is he talking about? You can see. You can see for yourself. You can hear for yourself that Donald Trump is an enemy of the United States. He's a traitor. Donald Trump is a traitor. I don't know how else to tell you. We live in, like, Donald Trump's America represents the Confederacy. Oh, yeah. That's the mental map. I can show you the mental map real quick. The mental map, if ever you get confused... What? If ever you get confused about what's going on, just consult this mental map I made for you. This map will help you understand where things are. So when you see a Trump flag, Make America Great, what you're looking at is the battle flag of the Confederacy, because Trump is white supremacy. When you see thin blue, when you see the blue line and a black and white American flag, do you see what this represents? This, by blanking out all the colors except the blue, they're elevating authority above everything else. Oh, look, Nazi Germany, the same thing, authority above everything else. Bootlickers, authority above everything else. That's what this says. Okay, and then when you have Q here, the QAnon, they are a cult. They are a cult of worship. It's the same thing as the fascists who worshipped the Emperor of Japan back in World War II. It's the same thing. They take a dude and they make him into a god, and then they worship him. That's what QAnon is. That's what it is. This mental map will help you understand what's going on. When you see this, then you understand what's happening in the country. I mean, there's a reason why the Russians worked with Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. It's because Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump are the Confederacy. And the Confederacy works with the enemies of the United States. During the Civil War, back in the 1800s, during the Civil War, the Confederacy allied with Great Britain to defeat the Americans. And but the thing is that the Union had a blockade around the Confederacy, so they couldn't trade with Great Britain, and Great Britain didn't want to get too heavily involved, overtly involved with their ships and stuff. I mean, they were fighting Napoleon. Oh, were they fighting Napoleon? I don't know what they were doing. Anyways, so yeah. The Confederacy does work with the enemies of the United States. That's why we know Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell worked with Russia to overthrow the elections. We know that. That's what's going on. And we know, and then you say, well, wait a minute. How do you know it's the Confederacy? How do you know? I mean, you're saying Donald Trump equals the Confederacy. How do you know? Well, remember the maxim I had a couple. Wait here, I'm gonna pull that up. The maxim I had, Rob's maxim. Da 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 da. What is it? Yeah, there it is. Rob's maxim. The alignment of an entity in control of a tool can be deduced by the outcomes of that tool. Okay, so here, let's break it down. Okay, Kentucky, Breonna Taylor. Cops execute a no-knock warrant on a house with bad information. They already caught their guy somewhere else, but that wasn't communicated to this group executing the raid on this house. That's the wrong house. So they all got their guns, and I don't think any of them are even marked. They're all like undercover. In the middle of the night, they bash down this guy's door. Right? They don't announce themselves. They just bash. It's a no-knock raid. They just bash it down, the door down. So it's like in the middle of the night, they're breaking into a house. So the guy is awake, and he hears this, and he defends his house like Americans are supposed to. The American defends his house against intruders. He does this with a firearm. Woo, America! Ooh, firearms. He does it with a firearm. He defends his home with a firearm. How American is that? And the intruders return fire. They return fire. The interlopers return fire. And in doing so, they murder... I can't. Like, in doing so, they murder... Stop. Like, okay. In doing so, they murder... Am I not going? Like, what's going on? Is it not running? Yeah, it's running. Okay. In doing so, they murdered Breonna Taylor, who's asleep in bed, just laying in bed, and all of a sudden the door gets kicked in, and bam, 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 she gets shot up, and she's laying there dying, and the cops don't care. The cops are covering their ass. So all the people are rising up, saying, hey, we want justice. Justice isn't being served here. We want justice. Why aren't those cops in prison? Why aren't those cops arrested in jail? Why isn't there not an investigation? How can you just kill some innocent person with no repercussions? What is going on? What is going on? And so that one. No, that's the wrong one. And so the government, which is supposed to represent the people, and is the only entity with the authority to wield violence legitimately, and it is tasked with carrying out the will of the people. And the will of the people says we want justice. So what happened was, let's see. Here, this way. But then it's backwards. It's not even backwards, it's on the wrong place. I called this folder next show because it's the next show. There it is. So what we got here is that the cops literally murdered a woman in her sleep, then tried to frame the boyfriend, then tried to frame the dead victim by getting her ex-boyfriend to lie about her. Then the cops who did it, none of them got in trouble for it. Then they put tanks on the streets because people are saying, hey, that's not what we want. That's not justice. The only cop who got in trouble was the cop who missed and didn't hit anybody. The cop who didn't hit anybody, he got in trouble for wanton endangerment. Meaning, it's possible he could have. It's possible he could have. It's possible he could have hurt one of the neighbors. He might have hurt one of the neighbors. It was called wanton endangerment. And yeah, he's the only cop that got in trouble. What's going on? Why are you still up? Okay. The only cop that got in trouble was the one who missed and didn't hit anybody. And he got in trouble because he might have hurt somebody. The cops who actually killed someone, no problem. See, that's called qualified immunity. And I was looking for my picture for qualified immunity. I can't find it. Where did my picture for qualified immunity go? Because it was hilarious. Here. Oh. No. It was the guy pointing to the whiteboard. Like, I had that meme. It's the guy pointing to the whiteboard and talking about how qualified immunity is what allows the police to kill people and get away with it. But they only kill black people and minorities. They kill white people. That's true. They do. They kill white people. It's not like, it's not like this is only happening to black people. They kill white people too. But it happens a lot more to black people than the white people. It's dark in here, man. It's dark. I need to go get more like glowstone or something. Which is why I need a farm, a gold farm, so I can trade with a priest and get my get enough to level him up enough so I can trade for him glowstone. Yay, glowstone. Need my gold farm. I need my gold farm. The iron farm is amazing. I mean, it's not bad at all. I'm not complaining at all. And this farm, let's see, how's this one doing? I've been gabbering for a little bit. Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Black Lives Matter. Black women's lives matter. It's going, it's going, it's going. Step by step. Niagara Falls. Okay. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. So, I can't find it. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go back to this. But yeah. So what happened was let's go back to the Maxim. Open with infantry. So, okay. The alignment means like where on the spectrum of good and evil, law and order do you fall? Law versus chaos do you fall? Like, it's your, like, yeah, it's like if you're a good guy or a bad guy, and what kind of good guy and what kind of bad guy, or if you're neutral, and what kind of neutral are you? So the alignment of an entity is a thing, anything, a thing, something, and that's generally got sentience, so a consciousness. And generally, we assume consciousness comes with a body, right? So when you look at a person, and they're like, oh yeah, that's an entity. That person is an entity. But it can also be something that emerges, right? So you have a bunch of people together, and they make a group. The thing that the group they make is on the next level. Like, and it is an entity. This group they make, you know, we'll call them whatever, the yarn, so the crochet club. When a bunch of people get together and make a group, something comes out of that, like out of their interaction. Something emerges out of the interaction, and that thing is an entity. It's an entity. Like it has its own particular logic to it, and this entity is called, you know, is on the next level. It's on the group level of analysis, and yeah, so that entity as a group can have an alignment as well. Because of an entity in control of a tool. So if that entity, we'll say the crochet club, goes over and takes over the arts and craft festival, takes over the board of directors of the arts and crafts festival. So now the crochet club controls the arts and crafts festival, the big festival where everyone comes together to do stuff. They control it. And it's their tool in a way. Like the board of directors is their tool to enact the shape of the arts and craft festival. So if they want to, the crochet club can kick out every other arts and crafts and only do crochet, and turn the crochet club into a crochet arts and craft. Only crochet, a crochet festival instead of an arts and crafts festival. Only crochet. They can do that. They can do that. The outcomes, and then if you do that, then you could look at the entity controlling the tool, and you go, huh, the crochet club, they're a bunch of Nazis. They're crochet Nazis. They only want crochet. They want to get rid of everyone else. They're crochet Nazis. So we can go, okay, we can say they're Nazis in terms of crocheting. Okay. So we can go back now over here, take that same idea, and you go over here to Kentucky. Kentucky is the state. It's the entity who controls the legitimate violence and controls the justice system. Kentucky. So Kentucky is the tool. It's the government that shapes the reality of stuff. So we got to look. Well, who's the entity that controls Kentucky? The tool of Kentucky. The government of Kentucky. Who controls the Kentucky? And you look and you go, oh, look, it's the Republicans. It's Republicans. And remember, Republicans are on Team Trump. And remember, Trump is Confederate. Hence, Republicans are Confederates. It's the Confederate Party. Republicans are Confederates. They do not abide by the Constitution. They have a wholly different idea of justice than do Unionists. So, the way Kentucky uses its justice system, it protects police officers and lets them murder random innocent people without repercussion. That's what happens when the state of Kentucky uses its power. So we can deduce the alignment of the entity in control of Kentucky by the outcomes of the state of Kentucky, the Justice Department. And that outcome is white supremacy. So the alignment of the Republican Party is white supremacy. We just watched this whole thing play out. You have to deny your very senses in order to come to a different conclusion. You have to disbelieve everything that's there in order to, and you have to be in a cult in order to disbelieve it. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people in a cult. So, you know, now that I've got iron, I can start making a lot more farms, more sugarcane farms. Sugarcane farm, melon farm, because pistons, dude. Pistons! Piston Honda. No torches. Imagine that. So this guy right here. Hi, what's up, Eddie? I don't have a place for you to live yet, Eddie. I have to make you a house. Like, I think I'm gonna make it here, but then that's like the edge of everything. I can do it right now. I need more glass, but yeah. We'll make your base out of blackstone. Oh wait. No, that's too big. Three more. Okay. Need a bed. Bed for Eddie. Music. So yeah. Let's cure this guy. Let's save him. Let's save him. Alright, Eddie. Oh, I just splashed you with that weakness potion. And now I'm gonna feed you some wisdom. And you're changing, dude. You're wigging out. You're like, oh my god! I never knew! I never knew! I never knew! All the things I thought were real were false. And all the things I thought were false were real. And now my entire worldview is being deconstructed and falling apart before my eyes. And I have to make a new worldview. And that's terrifying. I understand. It's scary. It happened to me. It was pretty awful to have everything that you thought was solid melt away. It happened to me a bunch of times, actually. Because every time I thought I was there... when everything you thought was real turns out to be wrong. Yeah, it's wild. It hurts. But it doesn't really hurt. It's kind of scary. It's scary because you have to spend all your time like building everything back up again from what you know with this new information to make it make sense again. Oh man. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard. So we know Donald Trump is gonna do something bad. We know this, right? We know this, it's gonna happen. So, open. Let's go over some stuff. Oh, I need some coffee. All right, preparing for a coup. Because we know Donald Trump is heading in that direction. Donald won't commit to a peaceful transfer of power if he loses. We know Donald Trump is going to go do this. We know it. It's going to happen. What is a coup? The Oxford Dictionary defines a coup, or coup d'etat, as a sudden, violent, and illegal seizure of power from a government. The word is typically used to refer to an illegal seizure of power. So, here are 10 things you need to know to stop a coup. There's only been, I'm gonna disagree with this. On November 10, 1898, white supremacist soldiers and police killed at least 60 black men in Wilmington, North Carolina. The murders were part of a carefully orchestrated coup that toppled a multiracial government in the South's most progressive black majority city. The coup capped a months-long white supremacy campaign in North Carolina designed to strip black men of the vote and remove them from public office forever. The prime target was Wilmington, where black men served as councilmen, magistrates, and police officers in a city with a thriving black middle class and some 65 black doctors, lawyers, and educators. So that's one. But remember Black Wall Street? That was a town too, and they just like destroyed it. I don't know if that was so much as a coup as that was just like a total destruction in Tulsa. But and then plus we've had coups in, I would say, 2000, the 2000 coup where George W. Bush took office. That was a coup. The Republicans staged a coup. They illegally took office in 2000. And in 2016, that was a coup. That was Donald Trump working with Russia to overthrow the 2016 election. And then in 1980, with Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, that was a coup. Ronald Reagan had a back channel with Iran, our enemy, in 2000 or in 1980. So okay, in 1980, back then, Iran had American hostages. They took over the American embassy and took hostages. So Jimmy Carter was working out a deal to get the hostages released, and he did it. But there was a back channel from the Reagan people and the Republicans. And the Republicans said, hey, don't release the hostages so that we can win the election. And if we win the election, then we'll give you weapons. We'll hook you up, Iran. We'll trade with you clandestinely. So Iran's like, oh, okay, then we'll listen to this back channel and not listen to the official American government. And so that looked bad for Jimmy Carter, and he lost the election because of the interference. So yeah, we were betrayed by the United States was betrayed by the Reagan administration, the Reagan campaign. So there's been a few coups in our country, not just that one. But first thing you got to know, don't expect results on election night. Expect false flags and outlandish claims. Be very cautious with news. Don't simply pass on whatever seems dramatic examples of wrongdoing, but take time to check to see if it's been verified, already debunked, or from a source you don't trust. Encourage people in your community to prepare for some uncertain weeks. And as election results start coming in, the message needs to come through loud and clear. Count all the votes. Count all the votes. I had another one I wanted to show you, and dude, my mouse like double clicks backwards sometimes, and I hate it. I'm looking, okay, so now what I'm looking for is that graphic that shows you the credibility of news sources. Oh, there it is. First, I want to show you this one. Wait a minute. Pause that one. How to avoid getting shot by the police. And qualified immunity so that officers face full liability for the actions as fiduciaries. Fiduciaries. Okay. Did I copy it to the desktop? Yes, alright. For later use. Alright, so I'm looking for something. For the credibility of news sources. I had it. I have too many. The credibility of news sources. Where do you get your information is important. Alright, I'm sorry this is taking so long. I gotta find it. Oh, dude changed. He changed back. Nice. Welcome back, my dude. Welcome back. Welcome back. Was it that far away? Yeah, it was. Holy crap. Open with. So, what's going to happen is that there's going to be you have your choice of news sources to choose from. During the election, you want to focus on these people right here. These are the people you want. AP, Associated Press, Reuters, whatever that is, Bloomberg, NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, PBS, USA Today, NPR, BBC, Axios, Political, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Hill, The Fiscal Times, The Economist, Foreign Policy, Time, Al Jazeera. Yeah, these guys a little bit less, but you can. I like Mother Jones. I'm sorry, dude. I like Mother Jones. MSNBC, CNN. They're lower end, but they're still, like, you want the yellows. You want the yellow and green. That's what you're looking for. Yellow and green. Yellow and green. What you don't want is orange and, well, orange and really red. Really, red is the one you don't want. Right. So if you're getting your sources, if you're getting your news from the red, you're getting bad information. If you get your news from InfoWars, you're being tricked. If you get your news from Fox News, you're getting tricked. Right. If you get your news from Daily Caller, you're getting tricked. If you get your news from, I don't know any of these guys, from any of these guys, you're getting tricked. These guys up here, they're a little bit better. They're a little bit better. I like BuzzFeed. I'm sorry, I like BuzzFeed. They're the ones who, but yeah, I like Mother Jones too, and Daily Beast. So I guess these guys I would be wary of. I don't really like them, and I don't like these guys either, but that's okay. These guys are all good, all up here. So when you're getting your election news, get your news from reputable sources. Don't be just getting it from a Facebook meme. Get your news from good places, because they're gonna try to trick you. Donald Trump is gonna try to say, "Oh, it's over, I already won," and you can't let him do that. That's dumb. It's dumb. Open with. Get rid of that guy right here. Go back to this one. So make sure you get your information from good sources. The next one. Call it what it is. A coup. A coup. It's not coup. It's coup. It's a coup. Coup d'etat. It's a French word. people, and coup means to cut, a cut. Because you're cutting off the head to take control. That's what it means. Coup d'etat, or cut the state, the head of the state. People who do power grabs always claim they're doing it to save democracy, or claim they know the real election results. We can know it's a coup if the government stops counting votes. That's one, right? Because you need to count all the votes. Number two, declares someone a winner who didn't get the most votes. Right? That happened with George W. Bush. It happened with Donald Trump. And those two were coups. They were both coups. Allows someone to stay in power who didn't win the election who didn't win the election. So if he didn't win the election, but they're like, well, he can stay in power anyways. That's a coup. So like Donald Trump, how he doesn't want to count the votes, he doesn't want the ballots, he just wants to keep things going. That's a coup. That's overthrowing the Constitution. In any scenario, if any of those three principles are violated, we have to declare loudly and strongly, this is a coup. So I'm saying it. 2000 was a coup. 2016 was a coup. It was an illegitimate seizure of power. Oh crap. Crap. Here, this one. Like this. Down, up, this way. Okay, there we go. Know that coups have been stopped by regular people. Coup attempts have happened all over the world, and over half have failed. The role of the citizenry is crucial. That's because during the period right after a coup attempt, when the new government is claiming it's the real government, all the institutions have to decide who to listen to. The moments after a coup are moments for heroism amongst the general population. So what's going to happen is Donald Trump is going to be like, oh, even though I didn't get all the votes, and even though all the votes aren't counted, and even though I got the smallest number of votes, I'm going to be the president in power. I'm going to hold on to power. So all the institutions around have to decide, what, do we listen to this dude? Or do we listen to Joe Biden, who won the election? That's the moment that's important to see. That's how you determine the alignment of the people who are controlling an institution. Be ready to act quickly and not alone. Typically, power grabs are organized in secret and launched suddenly. It's rare for any country leader to publicly admit they might not respect the results of an election. But Donald Trump did! He just did! He told us that he's going to do this. Donald Trump told us. There's some good news in that, because people who stop coups rarely have the chance to get training, warning, or preparation. In that way, we're ahead of the game. To start preparing, talk to at least 5 people who would go into the streets with you. The safest way to take the streets is with people you know and trust. So you have plenty of time to get ready to go to the streets. We know Donald Trump is going to try to do a coup. He told us he's going to do a coup. So he may not do it. He may just be blustering. He may just be talking crap. But we should be ready just in case, because he had the audacity to say these things. Focus on widely shared democratic values. Civic organizations, churches, business groups, and labor unions can unite under a pledge to uphold the Constitution. It's been done before. Focusing on widely shared core democratic values is different than protesters taking to the streets with a list of issues or grievances against a vilified leader. It's not just that Donald Trump is a bad person. It's that Donald Trump is destroying the Constitution. He's saying the votes of the people don't matter, and that the Constitution doesn't matter. He's saying he's going to hold on to power regardless. That's what Donald Trump is saying. So if you value our Constitution and our country, you are going to reject Donald Trump. That's all there is to it. But if you don't respect the Constitution, and you don't respect the United States, and you want to ally with Russia, well then we know what you are. You're a traitor. 6. Convince people not to freeze or just go along. Imagine that at your job, a corrupt boss gets fired and a new one is brought in. Instead of leaving, your old boss says, "I'm still in charge, do what I say." A bunch of your coworkers say, "We only take orders from the old boss." At that point, doubt arises. That doubt is how coups succeed. Enough people freeze. Even when only a few people go along with the coup and act as though that's normal, people may reluctantly accept it as inevitable. So you cannot accept the coup as inevitable. When Donald Trump says, "No, I don't accept the election at all. No, no, no," you have to not go along with it. Nah, sorry, dude. Joe Biden is the president. You lost the election. Get the hell out. You're going to prison. Oh, I can't wait. He's going to prison. He's going to prison. Donald Trump is going to prison. Donald Trump is a criminal, a traitor, and he's going to prison. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see Donald Trump go to prison. It'll be amazing. It'll be such a vindication. It'll be so healing for our nation to see justice be done, to see Donald Trump go to prison. It'll be awesome. It's vindication of our ideals, of the American system, that the American system functions. When we can take the highest guy in the land and send him to prison under the law, that shows the American system works, that the American people are adhering to their ideals. It'll be fantastic. I can't wait. 7. Commit to actions that represent rule of law, stability, and non-violence. Historically, whichever side resorts to violence, the most tends to lose. Historically, whichever side resorts to violence the most tends to lose. In a moment of uncertainty, people pick the side that promises maximum stability, respects democratic norms, and appears to be the safer bet. Mass resistance to coups win by using walkouts and strikes, refusing orders and shutting down civil society until the rightfully democratically elected leader is installed. For mass movements to succeed against coups, they should to refuse to do violence to the other side. So Proud Boys are all about causing violence and harm. They bring guns, they bring bats, they bring pipes, they bring pepper spray, they bring pistols, they bring batons, they bring brass knuckles, they bring whips, they put spikes on their shields to hurt people. They do all sorts of bad things. The fascists are all about violence. That's how you know they're the bad guys. 7. We're at 8. Okay. Yes, a coup can happen in the United States. It may be hard to imagine that a coup could happen in this country. I just told you. But whenever there's an order to stop counting votes, we call it a coup. On 9/23, Trump refused to commit to a peaceful transfer of power should he lose the election, noting his issue with the mail-in ballots and insinuating they'd be thrown away. That's a coup. That's a call to a coup. Just so you know. 9. Center and calm, not fear. It's scary to believe that we're having to talk about a federal coup in the United States of America. And we know that fearful people are less likely to make good decisions. Let's aim for calm and avoid hyperbole. Be a reliable source by double-checking rumors and spreading high-quality facts in real life and on social media. So when I'm calling the Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump fascists and Confederates, that's not hyperbole, man. I'm not making an exaggerated statement. That's what they really are. You strip away their BS and their lies, and you look at what's actually happening. You look at what they do when they have power. You can determine their alignment. That's the whole point of my maxim. You can determine the alignment of the entity wielding a tool by the outcomes of that tool. Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell used the power of the federal government to enact fascist policies and ally with enemies of the United States and harm the people of the United States. They're Nazis. They're fascists. They're the bad guys. Call it what it is. It's not hyperbole. That's what it is. So people who follow a Nazi are Nazis. 10. Prepare to deter a coup before the election. The best way to stop a coup is to never have one. People are doing a lot of good work on issues of voting rights, urging turnout, stopping repression, uncovering fraud, and getting people to commit to democracy. The best way to stop a coup is to deter it. Yeah, yep. If you never have a coup, you never have a coup. So, but we can see the warning signs. Donald Trump intends for this to happen. So we have the benefit of Donald Trump being stupid. Donald Trump is dumb. He's playing poker and he's putting all his cards out on the table because he thinks he can win that way. He's like, hey, white supremacists and fascists, look at the cards I have on the table. This is for you, so we can see who they're talking to. There was a Proud Boy rally, a Nazi rally in Portland, and like only a few hundred people showed up for their event, but thousands and thousands of people showed up for the pro-American event. So only a few people showed up for the Nazi rally, and hundreds or thousands of people showed up for the Black Lives Matter, Antifa, American rally, the Patriot rally. Lots of people showed up for the Patriot rally. Nobody showed up for the Nazi rally. The Patriots totally kicked out the Nazis. Oh, I've been idle for too long. Sorry. So our man is cured. Our man is cured. I gotta like hook him up with a place to live now. But I think I need to wait until nighttime so I can make him go to bed. He'll just magically go to this bed. I might have to make a wall here so he doesn't think he can go this way. I don't know how much path fighting he'll do. Because I've seen him walk way over this bed when there's a bed right there. Let's go kill some monsters. Tasty! Get rid of some of this stuff. Okay. Gotta wait till nighttime so I can send him to his bed. Yeah, I like this black stone. Looks good. This is gonna be a little trickier. Not really. Observe the ease. Nice. Oh, I need a slab. Let's make this all color coordinated. I got no job. But you're cured, my friend, you're cured. Yeah, healing. We got to heal. What else do I got here? Okay. How to stop a coup, Breonna Taylor. Donald knows he can't win the election. What's all this stuff? Open with, in front view. Okay. Destabilization can be countered by curbing the rights of political agitators. The crisis can be ameliorated by a strong reactionary response and cracking down on subversive organizations. Normalization is the most difficult to reverse. Once normalization is in place, only explicit military intervention will suffice to reinstate the old order. Without a strong, organized response to ideological subversion, it will proliferate. So what this is talking about is QAnon. QAnon is this strange cult that worships Donald Trump as a savior. So remember this: Donald, like Imperial Japan, QAnon worships Donald Trump as a savior, as a messiah, as an emperor in a way. So they don't care about the Constitution. They don't really care about reality. They're crazy. They're all crazy. They're crazy. They've bought into this delusion, and it's if it gets entrenched, it'll be like a big danger, and we don't have a very good response to it yet. So deep destabilization occurs once properly re-educated persons, particularly social and cultural elites, come into positions of prominence and power. Here, all of the agitations and distractions from stage one manifest inside the organs of public opinion. Gradually and then suddenly, making sense of things, telling right from wrong, knowing truth from falsehood, friend from foe, good from evil, patriot from traitor, become so muddled and confused so as to send the social climate into a state of mimicking schizophrenia. So so if you think about it, that's kind of what's going on with people who follow QAnon. They believe that things are so confusing. They believe that things are so confusing that you can't possibly know truth. A fascist will tell you that. They do the both sides. They do the both sides thing, right? If you try to say that Republicans are doing something terrible, which they objectively are, the fascists will counter and they'll say, "Oh well, both sides are the same anyways. They're both bad. Democrats are just as bad as Republicans." Okay. And that, you can't know the truth because every media source is a lie. So they want to say that there's no such thing as truth, that you can't know it, and that both sides are the same. So they want to both make a truth claim. They want to say, I have the truth. The truth is both sides are the same. At the same time, I want to say you cannot possibly know truth. It's too confusing. Like, it's so complex, you can't know truth. And I have the truth. The truth is both sides are the same. So fascists want to say this two things at one time, that they can't do it. They want to break your brain, because when your brain is broken, when you succumb to that kind of thinking, oh yeah, there is no truth. Oh yeah, both sides are the same. I can't possibly understand what's happening. Then you can be easily manipulated, like QAnon people are. QAnon people, I mean, think about it. QAnon people listen to random internet images of texts from anonymous people. That's who they listen to. Random stuff from random people that has no bearing on truth whatsoever, but they follow it. They've lost the ability to discern truth. Right? No, they cannot tell right from wrong. They can't know truth from falsehood. They don't know who's friend and who's foe. Like, look at the Republicans. They want to team up with Vladimir Putin. Like, I asked people. I asked them, who do you believe? Do you believe the Americans or do you believe Vladimir Putin? And Republicans will tell you, I believe Vladimir Putin. They won't tell you that. What they'll say is, I don't believe the Americans. So if you don't believe the Americans, who do you believe? Oh, Vladimir Putin. So they say they believe Vladimir Putin and the way they say that is by saying they don't believe the Americans. There it is. They won't say I believe Vladimir Putin, but they will say I don't believe Americans. So by default, I believe Vladimir Putin. So they don't know they can't tell truth from lie, right from wrong, friend from foe, patriot from traitor. They can't tell. They've lost that ability. Their brains have been destabilized. They can't do it. So they're schizophrenic. So demoralization is a systematic uprooting. In this stage, it is essential to foment skepticism, criticism, and ultimately disdain for the values and institutions undergirding the target population. So you want people to hate the American government? You want people to hate the American values? You want people to hate the American ideals? You want them to hate that. Truth, justice, and liberty. You want people to instead say that there is no truth, that there is no justice, and freedom is only allowed for the elites. That's the corruption of American values. And we can see that manifesting in the actions of the Republicans, because we can see what they do when they have power with Breonna Taylor. One is laying the groundwork for a new generation that is ideologically compromised. Through institutions of education, culture, and media, you subvert the dominant paradigm by a constant picking apart, a deconstruction of the foundations of the society. This is the time where your target is trained to criticize and question those parts of their society that constitute any notion of identity. Religion, sex, gender, art, race, philosophy, politics, all of these aspects of the target society are challenged or outright subverted. All things are questioned, not for the purpose of reform, but to sow the seeds of doubt in the minds of your enemy. It should be sow, S-O-W. I make this mistake too. Sowing is with the needle, and sowing is and the other sowing with the O is with seeds. Is there any more coffee? No. Shoot on the grinds there. Yeah. All right. So what that means is that it's not like the protesting for Black Lives Matters, right? Protesting for Black Lives Matters is saying we want reform. Look at this system. This is unacceptable. We want reform. But what they're talking about to criticize religion, sex, gender, art. For this one, you have to have an idea that there is only one correct religion, one correct way of thinking about sex, one correct way of thinking about gender, one correct way of thinking about art, one correct highest race, one kind of philosophy that is correct, one kind of politics that is correct. Right? You have to think that. You have to think that, because then you can criticize all the other ones. So if you're a white supremacist, Christo-fascist, who believes that Christianity is the only one religion, and that heterosexuality is the only right way to have sex, and that only two genders is the only correct gender paradigm, and that white people are the only good race, and that philosophy, and randomism is the only correct philosophy, and that Republicans is the only correct politics, then when you do that, then you can criticize every one of American society, because American society is the opposite of that. It is the opposite. It is the opposite. American society is about truth, justice, and liberty. So that means any way you can express truth, justice, and liberty, that is awesome by our standards. Like if you can express truth, justice, and liberty by being a transsexual, multiracial, independent, I don't know, then awesome, right? We don't care who worships like who's a Pastafarian. That's great. That's fantastic. We don't care. Like, as long as you're representing truth, justice, and liberty. So the rigidity, the ossification of these things comes from the right. They want to paralyze people. Crisis comes next. Having sown mass confusion and dysfunction into governing bodies and institutions of social influence, desperation sets in. So Donald Trump wants to destroy the federal government, and he's done this by installing lackeys who do exactly that. He installs people who are opposite of American cultures and values, and he puts these people into power. For the head of the Department of Education, he puts in a woman who hates education. That's DeVos. To handle our transition to green energy, to get off of oil, the Department of Energy, Donald Trump installs Rick Parry, an oil man. To take care of the post office, he installs a man who has stock in the competitors of the post office and who wrecks the post office. Like, that's what Donald Trump does. Once they get inside, they destroy the government and the institutions. That's why they're enemies. They're enemies. And then they exacerbate the coronavirus by spreading misinformation about all sorts of stuff. They're enemies of the people of the United States. They're trying to destroy our nation. So to cope with emergent chaos and complexity of a rapidly deteriorating social fabric, institutional subversives advocate for increasing bureaucratization and formalization, ossification, freezing of the nascent insurgent ideology. The ground has been prepared for deference of decision-making to unelected officials, technocrats, and functionaries who are, at this stage, well-versed in the new paradigm. So it doesn't matter that everyone sucks, everyone's terrible that Donald Trump puts into power. The idea is that they're put into power and they get stuck there, that they're frozen there. Each of the 4 stages of ideological subversion can be countered. You, as a resistor, heretical as you are, should be informed of the risks attendant to this kind of action. The consequences of a failed revolution are deadly. It is only fair that in giving this information, potential foils you to your endeavors, whatever they may be. Potential foils to your endeavor. Okay, it is only fair that in giving you this information, potential foils to your endeavors, whatever they may be, are identified. So anything that could stop you, you should be able to identify. However, what is unique about the Soviet method is that it can be done out in the open. In fact, it was designed specifically to exploit the asymmetries of an open society. Crucially, there must be a regime tolerant of dissent and open to self-criticism for these methods to take root. So this is talking about American society. Demoralization can be countered by restricting the import of ideological propaganda. So you don't want to spread bad information. The nihilism espoused by Nazis, you don't want to spread that around. You want to stop it. You don't want you want to reaffirm American values, and you want to squash dissonant. You want to squash the talk of the Nazis who seek to destroy the United States and her institutions. Because that's what's going on. We're being deconstructed from the inside by Nazis. And Republicans are on the team of Nazis and Confederates doing it. So, I mean, it's a little bit heady, right? It's kind of crazy. But that's what's happening. That's what information warfare is about. How long have I been going? An hour and a half. All right. So we almost got we filled up a lot more with our foods. I like this redesign. The black looks good. All right. As soon as it's nighttime, I'll let you out, man. Okay, what else do I got to show you? What's this? Yeah, here we go. Here, I want to show you. This is the people that we're dealing with. All right. That's the Proud Boys. All right. He's flipping us off. He's holding a pipe. He's got his pepper spray ready. And he's hanging out with people with guns. Well, there's no guns in this picture, but yeah, that's what they are, right? These are the Nazis. These are the Nazis, and we're the patriots. These guys are Nazis. We're the patriots. Black Lives Matters. We're the patriots. These guys are Nazis. So in Portland, the patriots defeated the Nazis because the patriots came out in number, and the Nazis, there's only a few of them. Tomorrow in Salem, the patriots, Antifa, and Black Lives Matter are having a bake sale in the park, in the riverfront park tomorrow, while the Nazis are having a Nazi rally in Salem. Now, the last time we went to the Nazi rally, remember, the Nazis attacked, and they committed a bunch of crimes, and they committed all these assaults. So the Nazis are pretty violent. They come with weapons, and they come there to fight. So in contrast to the Nazis, Black Lives Matter and Antifa are going to have a bake sale and then donate the proceeds to the victims of all the fires that we had here in Oregon. Because Antifa and Black Lives Matter support the basic American values of truth, justice, and liberty. Time to choose. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you vote, because right now in America, the election is going on. They are early voting in a lot of states. So the election is happening right now. Right now, the election is happening. So it's weird that the Republicans want to install a new Supreme Court justice. We're in the middle of an election. How can you install a new Supreme Court justice in the middle of an election? The election is happening. Why would you do that? We're in the middle of the election. You can't install a new Supreme Court justice. You need to wait until after the election. But Republicans are rushing this through. They want to get this done before the election is finished. They're rushing it. So what that's telling me is that Republicans are saying, hey, Democrats, we want to increase the size of the Supreme Court to 15. We want the next president, we want Joe Biden and the Democratic Senate and Democratic House. Republicans are saying, hey, we want to increase the number of Supreme Court justices to 15. That way you guys could get your fair number of justices in. So thanks, Republicans. By rushing through a Supreme Court justice nominee during an election, you're saying you want to increase the number of Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court. Okay, Republicans, we can do that for you. No problem. That'll happen. For sure, that'll happen. All right, guys, I think that's enough for me for today. That'll do it for me. We're coming up on it. And we know that Donald Trump has telegraphed his plans to start a coup. So we have time to prepare for it, to get ready to make sure it doesn't happen. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. I don't know if anyone watches, but if you do, then I just gave you a bunch of information. Hopefully it helped you. Okay, until next time. Pogo Kiddo out. Peace!